Howdy ho, guys and gals. Welcome back to the Den of Tools. Today we're talking bandsaws. Yes, we're talking the new Hercules universal bandsaw adapter. This thing, I don't want to say game changer because it's overused so much, but I'll let me know down in the comments after the video, after you watch the whole thing. Let's see what you think about it, if it's a game changer, because I'll tell you what, I've been waiting for something like this for a long time, and they were nice enough to send it over. So let's take a look at it. We're going to walk you through some of the setup, some of the use in the horizontal, some of the use in the vertical, and then we're going to talk about the stuff that's out there, and then what I like and what I don't like about it. All right? Okay, so here's the stand we got in the upright position. It'll be easier to set up and attach the device in that way. In this case, we're using the Bauer. Well, it's actually the pre-Bauer. It's the Chicago Electric version. So we're going to see if that one fits. I think it should be pretty much identical to the Bauer. We want to remove this bolt right here, the top two bolts right here. We have replacements for the top two bolts, and they're going to work with the bracket here that they supplied for the Bauer one, and that's this bracket right here. Now they come with three other brackets for the Hercules, the DeWalt, and the Milwaukee. But it should work with, in general, most of the saws of this style that are out there. So we're going to take those apart and get this set up. Move this one first. Oh, that's super easy. And this is not going to go back on. So we're going to put that down here. And then we've got these two bolts. Now they do send you with Allen keys. I suggest using your own. Hopefully you have those. Let's get some of that out of there. And then, that one's going to be a little tighter. There we go. And then this one. Then we get the Bauer bracket. And it goes on, I believe, just like that. And remember, when tightening these in, when you're putting them in, we're using the German torque specs of Gutentite. That's about it right there. Well, it can handle cuts. Let's see how many it can handle. Barely warm at all. So you saw it in use, and I can say I've had metal or woodworking bandsaws for years. I currently have a 10-inch like this. It's great. Don't try to buy one if you go online and you look for the Tack Life. Tack Life's a dead company, and there's no customer support even when they were around. And everyone trying to sell them now is pretty much a scam. But the woodworking ones are nice, but they don't scratch all the itches you need, like if you're looking for a metal cutting bandsaw. Of course, Harbor Freight's been selling this big beast to one for $1,400, a little more than most people need. Then we've got the Hercules, not Hercules, the Central Machinery here. This thing has been fantastic for a lot of people. I've got good friends who are professional welders and stuff who use this in their home shops. $390. Though, I mean, you don't even want to think about what this used to go for. I think it was like $200, but that was a long time ago in a land far, far away. But the point of the matter, actually, the fact here is, even if it was that price, and I would love to have one, I don't have the floor space to dedicate it to it, and I don't think most people do either. So I have the Chicago Electric, had it for years. Of course, that's now called the Bauer, just brighter red plastic. I don't know if there's any real difference to it, maybe under the hood. I don't know. It sells for $120, but it's on sale all the time for $100, $99, almost all the time. And it's been great. I've used it for years. I still, in the video, that's what you saw, the Chicago Electric, and that's, they haven't sold that version for 4 or 5 years at this point. So it's been doing great. Now, Swag came out years ago with their table here. Great little tables, and I wanted to get one, but I couldn't bring myself to spend, and $150 right now, that's a decent price. It used to be way more than that. I couldn't bring myself to spend that much, more than my saw for the table that goes with it. Just something in my head. And I was like, I could build something like that. And I did. The Bear and I, we got together, we slapped together a little plywood table there with a little cutout, got a foot switch for it, worked great, like a charm. But it doesn't scratch that itch, doesn't give you that horizontal cutting capacity that I really wanted. Well, enter the Hercules. It's, as you can see here, let me show you with it just bare here. That's what it looks like. It's a really well-built table. The construction on it is fantastic. Of course, they show it here with the Bauer in there. And of course, they hint at the Hercules. Of course, we showed the Hercules bandsaw at SEMA last year. If you want a real leak there, how about this one? Over there, this is for the new dust extractor here. And they included a picture of what looks like a new Hercules HEPA filter dust extractor. I would love to see that. Anyway, what are the other options out there, though? I mean, what is the Hercules? I mean, let's go back real quick. Take a look at it. If you can get that saw for $100, this thing's $100. For $200, you can have a portable saw. You can take in, out. You can use it horizontal. You can use it in vertical. It's got all the bells and whistles on it that you'd want. What else is there? Well, as I was saying, let's take a look. We looked at the Milwaukee. It's $621 for the Milwaukee table. Annabelle has the $200, $20 coupon was $180. Not a bad solution. Now I'll say this, with the Hercules, to get it out, it's not the easiest thing to take in and out. You have to undo the 2 side knobs at the bottom. They're clamping knobs. That's not too much. You undo those, and then you have to do the 2 bolts at the top, and it pops out. This one it's 3 bolts. 2 bolts, 3 bolts, not a big difference. But this one doesn't really give you that vertical solution like the Hercules does. You might be able to get it to work like that, kind of modify it or something. But if you look, the saw is upside down to, the rotation is upside down to where you'd want to use it in a vertical position. You'd be holding the piece down. It'd be weird. Anyway, Northern Tools got their version of the clutch, which I believe can go into a vertical position. I've seen, at least looks like people modded them, put their own tables on them. I don't know if you can get the table for it, but it's $360. $360, and I don't know how easy it is to take it out of its case, to take it and make it portable, because that's one of the nice things is I don't have to have just a dedicated machine. I can take this and I can take it on the road with me, or I can take it to the workpiece, or I can have it set up in the vertical or horizontal. Win has their version for $367. I did see these guys. This is Portaband, almost the same thing, $380. And if you want the table, it's $50. And you got to buy the right one for the one you have. The Harbor Freight does the same thing, maybe a little bit better, with one table for 4 or more, universal, fits a whole bunch of them, and has the accessory table built in for $100. Yeah. Anyway, it's just insane. Now, again, it's not perfect. The Harbor Freight one, uh, I had some real issues with the trigger on it and trying to get the trigger just right. And you saw it in the video. And I had to end up taking some Gorilla Tape and wrapping it around that bar to make it a little beefier. And it actually kind of conforms more to the switch and gives it a lot more solid connection. It's a small hack to fix something, but again, and maybe I just don't have it in the thing. I went back and forth because, like, if you move it further up as it comes down, it doesn't quite go into the position down here as well. Now, if you take the guard off, that would have made it easier, but I was trying to leave the guard on. But now since taking the guard off and I use it with the table, that's the other thing. Taking the table on and off, it's 2 screws. As you saw in the video, super easy to do. Yes, that is an adapter. It's let me see. I know someone's going to ask me about that adapter. I pulled it up here. It is the Titan 3/8 to 1/4 inch. It takes any 3/8 impact or ratchet or anything and turns it into a 1/4 inch hex adapter. And it works great. And who needs the right angle? Because you couldn't get in there with a drill, or you could fiddle with an Allen key or something. That's fine. The other thing I'm going to say, though, it should come with, 2 other things it should come with is it really needs the locking, clamping, press, plier, whatever this is, drill, press, locking clamp. I picked a couple off of Amazon. Harbor Freight sells them for 20 or $10 for one. I bought 2 off of Amazon. I think I paid $22 with free shipping, so I didn't have to run to the store. Anyway, and they're exactly the same as far as I can tell. This is almost a necessity with this one because you get some stock in there, bar clamp, something, bar stock or whatever. You're going to want to be able to clamp it down and have 2 hands on the whole thing there. That's just something that as I said, it almost should be worked into it, but maybe you already have them and you don't need them. So I'll give them that. The foot switch is something that I think is a necessity. It allows you to, the switch on the back on the Hercules works. There's no question that it works. It takes some fiddling, even once you get it fiddled, you dialed in. Even once you get it dialed in, it's still kind of, you got to pick up this one bar and press the other bar down and then let it lock in place. It works, but a foot switch is so much easier. So much easier. You can step on it, and you can, as soon as if you step away from something gets out of hand, you step away, whole thing shuts down. I love these. I use these for the bandsaws. I use them for sanders. I use them for a lot of benchtop tools, and they're fantastic. And Harbor Freight, I think, has one in store, but I can't. I know I bought one in the past. I can't remember the last time I saw it, and I can't find it on the website. So I have this one. I'll put a link to this and to the Titan drive down below. Anyway, the takeaway from all this is, I think this is a fantastic solution. It's not without its flaws. Converting, if you want it vertical, you have to have it on the edge so the front can hang off. Yes, you could take that part off, but then you're kind of stuck with this kind of a small base, and that having it hang off gives you some stabilization there. It's actually kind of nice because on the table I'm using it on, the little feet on the part that hangs off actually lock into the side and actually lock it to the table so it can't tip one way or the other. It took a little bit of fiddling to get it in there right. And that's kind of the problem. Like, if I get it in there right, and it did take some fiddling, now all of a sudden I want to take it out. Like the Annibal one, it goes in and out to the same bracket, the exact same way every time. I'm guessing there's no adjustment. I have not used it. Go check out Brad's workbench. He's got one that's like that. Maybe ask him that question if there's any fiddling with it. I can't imagine that there would be. With the Hercules, because it's an adapter for something that's not designed for this, there is. So every time you take it out and put it back in, you're going to sit there and you have to dial it back in. Not a huge deal, but it doesn't make it the fastest in and out. So again, not a perfect solution, but in my mind, I think for me, it's the best solution. So let me know what you think. Did it rate the term game changer for you down below? Let me know in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.